Okay, so hey guys, this is the first episode of the Crap House, and I wanted to do something that you guys would remember, something that was terrible, something that was the worst thing ever done. So I started to think. I started to look at everything I had, and then I found it. I found the thing I'd blocked out of my memory for a reason, and that reason is, it's the worst thing known to man. Well, I don't even have to say anything for you to figure it out, but some people hate things more than others. The Star Wars prequels. So, before I get into a big rant before the intro, I'm just going to roll the intro. We're going to get straight into this. It's kind of a wrap up because there's so many of them. There's 3 of them, and that equals to like 9 hours. And I did number 1 itself, which took up about half an hour with all those problems. So I just kind of wrapped it up. Okay, so I was thinking about this the other day, and I decided, let's not look at it from the Star Wars point of view, because it's massively backing off that it has great 2 other films, 4 and 5, 6 is kind of everywhere and wasn't needed, but if it wasn't for them, this would be, well, number 2 would never have been made from number 1. It's not like there's so many reasons to hate it, or is there? Let's get started with them then. Reason 1. So I can look past the idea that they ruined Darth Vader, Yoda, the Emperor, well, anyone really. They've ruined everyone who was cool before. Darth Vader's now become the most whiny jackass that ever existed, who seems to hate Jedis, even though before he wanted to be a Jedi. I'm just letting that one slide. Then Yoda. Why couldn't we just leave Yoda to be the cool guy with the mind tricks and who could do like the Force and was the best at the Force? Why'd they have to give him a shitty small lightsaber and make him use it? And make him use it in the shittiest fight for someone who just kind of fell over in the next film. It's like Obi-Wan walked over and sneezed and he fell over and died. It's really bad. And I don't get it. Why does Samuel Jackson gotta go, I want a purple lightsaber? And then, like, Lucas is like, oh my god, yes, here's your purple lightsaber. He doesn't do it for everyone else. Everyone else is stuck with the like blue and green. It's not fair. They should have spent a lot more time writing and, well, just doing a lot more work on it. That's all I'm going to say for that bit. Reason 2. CGI. Why? Why did they use so much? It's just the worst CGI I've ever seen. Like, it had more CGI, like more special effects, than in a game. They had the game worked out for them because they had all the models made and everything. The worst bit is though, instead of just getting and making a suit for like the clones, there was one bit where they slapped the guy's head. They went and stood in front of a green screen probably, and then they just kind of put his head on the body. But it didn't add up. They didn't spend any time making sure it's polished or anything, because that's one of the hardest things to do. I just had trouble trying to make Mace Windu speak. That was very hard, and it didn't even look good. But I get my point through. But they were just like I'm saying, it was good when it was made. And if they didn't do it back then, we wouldn't be as advanced now, because we wouldn't have had anything to move on from. But why did they use so much? It was overused, and it was horrible. They could have spent loads of time making amazing costumes, making all these good things, and not making Yoda some CGI'd mess as well. And the only good thing with the CGI and the editing was the lightsabers. I would sit through it and I'm like, so anything good happening? I hate this storyline. The only reason is Anakin's just whining, and then they'll get the lightsaber. I'm like, oh now it's getting good, and they'll put it away, and I'll sit back and I'm like, ugh. And I've got to listen to like Palpatine like, no. So yeah, that's my
No.
opinion. You guys might like him. I doubt it. Reason 3. So you're probably expecting one of the best reasons. No, this is probably the worst reason I have. It's this kind of script and the timing. It all doesn't add up. The Padme and the Anakin. There's this, like, well, do we start off? Anakin's 7 in the first one, and Padme's 14. But then in the next one, she is, like, meant to be 24 and he's 17. So there's a 7-year difference. But in real life, the actress who played Padme aged 2 years. Different actor for Anakin. So, one aged 10 years, one aged 2. It just doesn't add up. That always annoyed me. I want to say that. And the script, it's a forced everything. Everything that was forced in there was the love story, which was the worst dialogue ever. And the acting that delivered it could have just been done so well. George Lucas probably sitting there going, I don't really care. I'm getting paid no matter what for this. So, that's really it. I hated the acting, I've hated the dialogue, I've hated loads of stuff about it. The forced love story, the forced enemies. There's no reason for Jango Fett to hate Obi-Wan. It was just kind of Obi-Wan knew that he'd done it. It was just like, so, I hate you now. He just kind of got killed in the crossfire. He didn't deserve to die. And he didn't seem like a big deal either. So I'm gonna get onto that in my next point. Like, so yeah. Reason 4. The villains. The villains suck. Now, you're probably sitting there going, what do you mean Darth Maul have this awesome lightsaber? General Grievous, 4 lightsabers. Count Dooku, curved lightsaber. Jango Fett. Had a child. They just died. It wasn't like they had a massive battle. Count Dooku had a massive battle before with Yoda for some reason, and then the next episode, as I said earlier, he was like, I'm much stronger now, and then Anakin was like, I'm stronger too, and then Obi-Wan like fell over. I realised this while editing, and then he just goes achoo and chops off his head. It's the sort of thing of like, what? That shouldn't have happened. Anakin shouldn't have just gone achoo and chopped off his head. It doesn't work like that. It should be more of a battle, and then it would be cool if he begged or something. I know this sounds dark. It sounds dark as hell, but I mean, it's nothing. We got the Darth Vader and Luke battles. They went on for 3 films. They had the biggest build-up ever, and in the ending, someone doesn't have to die at the end. Just someone has to be like, yes, Palpatine died, but I mean, it was just kind of a battle. It wasn't like they had to kill someone at the end. The big villain had to die. That's how it seemed in every one of these films. Someone had to die at the end, because they could not follow it on to the next film. And if they did follow on, they were killed. Darth Maul, one of the biggest things, one of the biggest ideas that could have been taken and made loads of stuff. If he didn't die, like, instantly, with his one line in the whole film, he could have had so much shit. He could have been in the next film. They could have scrapped the whole Count Dooku idea, and he could have had the massive battle at the end. So that, and then he follows into the next film. We don't even need Grievous. Fuck Grievous. We got Darth Maul, and then he kind of dies in the third one. But it'd be cool if he died because of Obi-Wan and Anakin like stepped in. I'm rewriting the whole film here. I should have made the prequels. Fuck you, George Lucas. I should have. I'm the new George Lucas. Anyway, I'm going to get into my last reason, and hopefully, guys, that'll be it, because this is going on for a while, this. Reason 5. Now, throughout the first episode of The Crap House, we've gone over everything that was shit with the Star Wars prequels. Or did we? I avoided a very big topic, and the only thing I really brought in was some things that followed into the next movie, and Darth Maul. I see I snuck that in there. You didn't expect that, did you? The Phantom Menace. I didn't want to bring this up. I thought we could forget this, but we just can't. We just can't forget what they did. What George Lucas said was okay. What's wrong with this world? Yeah, I know, I'm blaming the whole world for this. We allowed this. We said this was okay. Yeah. The Phantom Menace is the worst thing that could have ever happened to the Star Wars series. No, let's just not even say the Star Wars series. Let's just say the worst thing that could happen to the world. It's got a very weird plot. It's got some of the worst actors in it, and one of the coolest actors dies. Actually, no, the coolest actor dies at the end. He is the only good guy that I actually like. Darth Maul in him, but Darth Maul didn't have any lines. He had like one line, and it was like, "Yes, Master," or something. And that was to Palpatine, who no one really cared about. No one cared in the Phantom Menace. It was one of those films. It's such a hard watch. Watching it to write the script for this was one of the worst things I've ever had to do. Pod racing, that is the worst as well, because it's one of the most boring things. Yes, it might have spanned a good game from it, the pod racing game, but sitting there watching it, because you can't tell who's winning. Anakin, it has these really kind of shots where it has one pod in it, and that'll go to another shot of another pod, but you don't know where they are. After a while, you figure out that Anakin's winning, and he wins, of course, to get them the money, and then they can move. It's just one of those things that you know is going to happen, that you could skip all of it, because it's just a series of lucky events, as it seems. Nothing ever goes wrong, and yeah. Now, Jar Jar Binks as well, I think ruined it. Now, a lot of people will agree with me, but I'm going to agree on a different level. Not that he was annoying or shit, is in the other Star Wars movies, they got the right level of comedy, something that you'll laugh at, something that everyone's guaranteed to laugh at in every Star Wars film. He has set such a small audience, and that small audience is like 2-year-olds, because they don't understand it. All they know is he's funny. But before, there was real comedy in it. There's real little jokes, real snippy things. But this, no. It took the comedy away from it. It took the Star Wars jokes out of the film. The Phantom Menace was a wreck. Something that they just kind of left on the side of the road. And they were like, we'll come back for you. And that's it. Those are my 5 reasons of why this film sucked. If you agree with me, let me know. The good things that this film did, 'cause it's not all bad. I can't give it all the hate. Well, I've got to admit, it did some things. There are some things in the film that it did right. I can't deny that. It spanned some good games, like the Lego game. That's actually pretty enjoyable. The Revenge of the Sith game, that was the first one, like the first PlayStation 2 full-on Star Wars game that I completed, which I loved, and it did span some other things, which, yeah. So, what did you enjoy anything from it? This is me asking you. Did you guys enjoy it? Comment down below. Did you guys like the Star Wars prequels? I don't. Well, just lightsaber battles or anything that keep them going, and they're still not even that good. So, tell me if you agree with my points. Tell me if you disagree. I want this to have some communication between us for this series. And let me know if you want me to do any other films for this series, which will not be done the next episode or the next episode after that. It'll be a while gap, because I'm mounting these up for like week after week. So yeah, see you guys in the next video.